Welcome back to 12 in our schools. Unfortunately, the reality of life in school is that bullies are still a problem. It happens at schools all over the nation in every demographic and at practically all age levels. So how do we help our kids address that situation? Joining me now is Ron Shuali, founder of Shuali Skills. Thanks, Ron, for coming to join us. Ron helps kids deal with all sorts of issues and problems, including dealing with bullies. And this is something that's got to be very difficult for kids because first off, they've got to acknowledge to parents or someone that can help them that there's a bully in the scenario.
Absolutely. When you get into a situation that there's a bully in the situation in the area, you don't know how to deal with it. There's different situations that sometimes children are told, ignore the bully, walk away from the bully, and there's other situations where if a child goes up to a teacher and tells them that there's a bullying situation going on, that teacher may walk the child right up to the bully and say, were you bullying them? Obviously the bully's going to say no, and that becomes a targeted situation because what happens after 3 o'clock is different than what happens on school grounds.
Exactly. And I'm wondering, is this something, when you go into schools and you talk to parents, teachers, and kids about this, is this something that teachers perhaps have the wrong idea about in terms of bringing the bully and the kid together and confronting the issue? That seems to be the common way.
It's different. I mean, I get a lot of the boys will be boys, girls will be girls, but however, bullying does lead to other scenarios where that victim may either stay a victim their whole entire life, and then that can stay psychological throughout their lives, or it can turn into one time where you may have a situation where the victim someday becomes the bully, and that goes into, I mean, worst case scenario, you're talking like a Columbine or a Virginia Tech. There's information out there for different teachers, and people have different opinions about it. However, I feel, in addition to my assembly programs and my teacher trainings, the more information that teachers get, the better.
Now, you actually go into schools
Absolutely.
and do these training programs.
Right.
What do you advise the kids themselves to do? I'm sure you have small groups and you break out these kids into groups. How do you advise kids to deal with a bullying situation?
Well, the first thing I have them understand is that they have to get back in power. Not meaning power is to be aggressive towards the bully. They have to be back in power, meaning that they understand through a couple of exercises I do that they have a choice whether to react to the bully or not. And last time I was on, I spoke about the power look, where I tell a child, don't look at the eyes, look at the top of the forehead. The same thing I teach teachers when a child is displaying a negative behavior, don't react to them. Same thing, get that unemotional look. I talk to the kids about not reacting, where I even do an example where I tell the kids, but depending on the area that I'm in, last month I did a program down in Deptford, and I said to them, okay, well, let's get a situation. I hate the Eagles. And all of a sudden you have the kids go, ooh, a couple of them reacted. So I walked up to them and I started talking to them and I said to them, okay, well, now I know that I can pick on you because you hate the Eagles. And you reacted. So now let's try it again. And if I said to them, I hate the Flyers, all of a sudden a couple other kids went, ooh, like that. I went down and I pointed them out and then I said, okay, so I know I can bully you, and I can bully you. But now here's the question. Who here was smart enough, after I did the Eagles example, when I did the Flyers example, who here was smart enough to know not to react so that I would not go up and bully them? And a couple of kids raised their hands. I said, that is the point. The first point is not to react. There's a difference between walking away with your head held down low so that you may get bullied, and there's another difference between walking away with your head held up high. Unaffected, no emotion, and a majority of the time, the bully will not escalate to a physical because mental, the consequences aren't as extreme, even though they should be. Once it gets to physical, the bully knows he can't take it or she can't take it to that next level.
Right. Interesting stuff. We'll talk more about it the next time. We're out of time, but thanks for coming through, Ron.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching 12 in Our Schools. That's our time this week. I'm Brian Jenkins. Until next week, remember, knowledge is power.